Well, folks, we've got a big show coming to Hillsboro here in a matter of days, Friday, August 1st, and we have a fella here who is let's just say a multi-platform celebrity and making a noise musically and also making noise in the food biz. We're talking about Steve Ewing of The Urge, a.k.a. Steve of Steve's Hot Dog fame. He's coming to Hillsboro, coming up on August 1st. Yeah, I'm a little excited about that part. And Steve is joined by the guy who made it possible, Zach Weigel. Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing very great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Where do you find the time, man? Unbelievable. I mean,
it is. It's been a little challenging lately, but it's it's good to be busy, especially in both the food and the music industry. So it's great.
So, how long has the Urge been a thing in St. Louis? It just when you, I guess, ask people around St. Louis about two or three local bands, the Urge almost always is in the conversation. This thing obviously started off like a bottle rocket, and it's never slowed down.
Yeah, we've been around since 1987. So we started just a little 4-piece and kicking around St. Louis, and started touring in the early 90s, and that's when things started to kind of pick up speed for us. But yeah, we've been around for quite a while.
Well, I know a lot. The world's changed as far as live music, and the bigger nightclubs are a little harder to find these days, and we see more people out there solo or a 1, 2, 3-piece operation. Have you done more and more solo gigs over the years?
Well, I'll tell you what, I did. When the Urge broke up, shortly after that, I went out touring with another band and then came back to St. Louis, and I did a lot of shows with just the duo. And it was nice because you could do the same music and kind of go everywhere with it. And so now I kind of I have a mix between both. I do about half and half. I do some shows with just the two of us, and some shows with it. Nowadays you have the option to go out and do both. I think it's great.
Well, 38 years of doing it, and I imagine you did things before that. But man, what keeps you going? What still makes it fun?
I still enjoy playing the music. So, the Urge music it's my music, and we wrote it, and I love playing it, and it's challenging still. So it keeps us up, and we still have the fans. So we still have the great fans that still want to hear the music. So that's exciting when I go out there and I see people excited about us playing. That gets me going. So anytime there's an audience, that gets me going. That's just how I am.
Yeah, St. Louis has kind of a one-of-a-kind local music scene, doesn't it? I mean, there's a reason there have been some successful folks coming out. It just there have always been some great acts, and gosh, I look at some of the crowds local bands have generated. Man, you sure played before those kind of crowds.
Yeah, so we put out, I think, a total of 9 records. And 3 of those were on major labels. So, for a long time, we were major label artists. After that, we decided to just stay independent. We did our due diligence with, promoting ourselves when we were younger, and so we built something nice. So we still play off of and still release music independently. We can still do some small touring and still play. St. Louis, I don't know how to explain it, but we produce amazing musicians. At the base of it, we make a lot of great players. So sometimes you get a lot of great players together to make great bands. But there is a vast number of amazing musicians that come out of St. Louis for sure.
Well, I know it's great to play for loyal fans who've stood behind you for years, but I can imagine it's something that fuels the tank to go to a town. I know you paid a visit or two up to Hillsboro in the past, but going to a place where you're going to see new faces and win people over, it's got to be, I can imagine, a nice recharge.
Love it. Always, always. I never get tired of it. There's 2 things, like you said. One is playing in front of people who are familiar with the music, that kind of gets you going. But then the idea that there's people who have no clue what the music is, and it's your job to go out there and turn them on. And I love doing that, and it's a challenge, and it's a huge reward when you're able to turn somebody on to your music. It's great.
Talking about all of the success and that switching to the independent label, that had to be gratifying, because as exciting as it is, and I've seen bands who were signed and oh yeah, we've got that, and they think they're headed somewhere, and it's almost like someone said, "Lose my number," and it just no communication, and they're left to twist out in the wind. So I know there are some heartbreak stories out there on that front.
Sure, I mean that's the nature of the industry. Is the record labels are out there to make money, so they invest in their artists, and hopefully they get a return on the investment. But if they don't, then you're done. So in our case, it was a kind of a win-win in that we already had a following built up before we signed the record deals, and this just made it national. So now we could go, not just regionally, we can go into other major cities to audiences that were turned on to us by having that big machine pushing us. So it's, for a band like us, it's great. We're independent, but we can go out and still draw crowds, and we can actually still make money. It's nice.
So we talked about coming before an audience where you're going to see new faces. For those who aren't familiar, and obviously you have a tremendous following, an incredible amount of folks have checked out your concerts, and I know they're the tried and true folks. But looking at the newbies out there, someone who hasn't seen you, hasn't seen the Urge, what will they find when you take the stage?
The high energy show, always. I move around a lot. I'm always engaging the audience at all times. So it's just a very engaging performance. The energy level's high. We try to keep, we get people involved. I get people singing. That's what I do. So yeah, and on these shows when we do the Steve Ewing Band, I would say we do, maybe like 30% Urge songs, and the rest are either original songs or some old classic songs that people know and love. So great mix of things.
Is there anything that I know being the front man, when you're performing solo, you're the namesake. When you talk about some of the creative freedom you get with that, any area of music that you're able to engage in that you really enjoy that makes this especially fun, or some artists that that come to mind that you get to perform that kind of style that maybe doesn't fit an Urge gig?
Well, we're a mix of a lot of different genres, but when I do my band, I do a lot of songs by like the Police. I grew up on the Police, and a big influence. So I do. If you see me play, you will always see me play at least one Police song per night, probably more than that. But that's a band that's always has been influenced. On this band, we actually play those songs, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Well, you have Master Blaster as well. Yep, but the Master Blaster tribute, that is a full-on Stevie Wonder tribute. So we play, an entire 90 minutes to 2 hours of just straight-up Stevie Wonder. And that's fun. That's a lot of fun.
Well, that's something you can't find everywhere. That's
no.
That's pretty rare. That's good, especially for something that iconic.
It's extremely challenging. The music of Stevie Wonder is very challenging. That's why you don't find a lot of people doing it, but it's really rewarding because there's so many hit songs there. Like, everybody knows Stevie Wonder music, so it's really fun to do.
So when you got in this business of Steve's Hot Dogs, did you find yourself saying, this would be cool, but where will I find the time? How did that all come together?
That was, the idea with Steve's Hot Dogs was to start a little side business along with performing, just to make some extra cash and do something different. And I love the street food culture and that's the small food and that food culture that comes with being out on the road. You see bands play, you go to clubs, and you see somebody selling food on the street. I just thought that was cool, and I thought that I could, and without having a whole lot of knowledge for running restaurants. And I did, so that's exactly what I did. I started one hot dog cart, and I just drug it around with me for a while, and had a good time doing it, and actually made money doing it. So we just kind of just rolled with it, and stayed with it, and expanded it, into where we're at today over a pretty long period. But things just kind of expanding. We kept coming up with ideas, and we kind of marketed the hot dog restaurant the same way we market music. We one customer at a time, and really, kind of hitting the streets with it.
Well, I can imagine this is the exciting part of where the two worlds come together. The fact that you've traveled and you mentioned the street food and seen the different influences with that street food, because that's where I know, the Mexican food has really been freshened up and different. There have been different takes, and obviously. The hot dog's done different ways in a lot of places. I mean, we all know you can't use ketchup on a dog near Chicago without getting arrested. But there are a lot more. I know there are a lot more wrinkles to the hot dog story than that.
There is, and we approached it. My approach out of the box was I did not want to be regarded as just your typical hot dog shop. I wanted to approach this restaurant as these are gourmet sandwiches. And in St. Louis, we have a big sandwich culture. And so I wanted to, really kind of get in that game. We're not just making hot dogs. We're making really elaborate, really, gourmet sandwiches with these hot dogs. So that's how we approached it.
Man, that's good stuff. Plus, incredibly involved in the community. I mean, Steve's Hot Dogs comes to the rescue time and time again for not only causes, but causes that just don't have a fundraising arm.
Correct. A lot of, our business, most of our businesses are based out of the city, so a lot of times we're in the thick of it when, there's help to be needed. So it just makes sense for us to reach out right there in our community, right in our neighborhoods. We take care of the neighborhood, they take care of us. That's kind of how we do it.
Well, the unfortunate thing, cloning hasn't gone mainstream, because I would love the thought of you showing up on the stage and your clone showing up making hot dogs. But I guess there's only one you, though. I guess.
That's it. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh my goodness! That's what heaven's like. That's when you know you're dead.
Or the next step will be there'll be one clone playing music and one clone in the bed.
So Zach,
taking a nap.
So Zach, how did you rendezvous with Steve? Where did this conversation and connection begin?
Well, I blame my brother, because it started at Point Fest 10 back in 1998 when I was just 18 years old, and he's like, "You got to check out this band called The Urge. They're going to be co-headlining there with Candlebox." And wow, I walked away a fan for life after being a part of that crowd and watching everyone jumping up and down. And yeah, ever since then, I've probably been to, I can't even count how many shows it's at now. I mean, that's even impossible to count. But, later on, by putting on concerts and building up the concert series, we were able to get more and more sponsors. And I'm like, you know what? I bet I could get Steve Ewing here. And, yeah, we've been able to do that. This will be the fourth time now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, what do you like about this town? And I can imagine, even though it's not a big city, when you talk about places like the Opera House, kind of commonality with some of the neighborhood places in St. Louis.
Oh yeah, big time. So I'm kind of everywhere, all over Southern Illinois, all over Missouri and Southern Missouri. So I'm kind of in a lot of different towns. And if there was ever a radio station anywhere nearby that played Urge music, I go to those places because people are familiar with the music, and people are super excited when I get there. Not often that I'm in town, so that people are just very excited, and that's just a good feeling. I love that. But yeah, whenever we come down there, and the vibe is always hot, it's great. It's party scenes. I just love it.
So the gig is coming up August 1st, and for people who want to have a good time and someone who's done big things, this is a pretty darn good price point.
Yep, sure is. So that's what makes it fun. Come out, you have to worry about spending a ton of money. The money you do spend goes towards a great cause. So yeah, so it's a great event. It's like a lot of fun for us.
So I just get the feeling that you're just going to keep on going, and people keep showing up. So I guess you just keep the train moving, and that's got to be gratifying because I know a lot of bands come and go, and I know there have been some bands who had a lot of success, and people thought they'd be around forever, and they weren't. And here you still stand and stand strong. That's got to be gratifying.
It is, and it's a blessing. I never take it for granted that I'm here. The Urge guys we're all still here. We're all still healthy. I never take that for granted, and it might be what keeps me going. The fact that I can keep going, and I feel really great doing it. Still feel healthy. So I get a great feedback doing it. So yeah, I don't see myself stopping anytime soon.
Well, you got the sports market cornered. Every goal over at Enterprise Center, and then the City SC food experience. I just know people are just wowed. I mean, it was pretty predictable in St. Louis, and I don't know. I won't name teams or names, but I've had a pretzel or hot dog or two where I was going to go across the river to Cokia Mounds and do some carbon dating. And I thought, man, we can do better than this. And you guys have, the stands over there have taken everybody by storm, but, some of that stuff isn't for everybody. Steve's Hot Dogs has not only got the wow factor, but it is for everybody.
Yeah, so it's what they did is they set up to be unlike any stadium in the entire country, where they were going to have the majority of the food be from local vendors, and it was a big challenge, and a lot of people had to work really hard to make that happen, but they did, and they successfully did it, and I think you're going to start seeing this model happen all over the country, but really first to do it here in the city.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is going to be a great gig coming up on Friday, August 1st, 7 p.m. I still can't believe I'm looking at it. Free show, and that's I know things have changed. It's hard to find good entertainment value out there, but that I'm sure some people are surprised. Like, what? No cover? It's so you already have a crowd that's in a good mood to start.
I do got to say, I have to thank my sponsors to make it a free show with Hillsboro Health, C&B Bank, and Opera House Brewing Company. Got to get those plugs in.
Well, and plus I saw you with a cardboard sign at 185 and 127 the other. No, just kidding, brother. Will you spare a dime for Steve Ewing? I don't know, but anyway, my humor's terrible. Well, anything else I need to hit, or much less?
Great. I just want to point out. Yeah, we're going to be closing off the street between Opera House and Sullivan's, just like I was last time. There is going to be, of course, drinks for sale, but there's also going to be some food across the street because Q17 is going to have their truck going. Back down where they got the creamery at and things like that. But I did have a really important question for Steve, and it's something that has been on my mind. Which I was there the other day. During stamp-out season, I had a burger at his place instead of a hot dog, and it was fantastic. One of the best burgers I've actually had in a while. And they have really good fries there. And he's got mac and cheese, because he's also got, Steve's melt. Got all the elements here. and I think you know where I'm going with this, Sean. Here in Central Illinois, we have a very iconic dish.
I do.
Burger, some fries, and some cheese sauce. And that I'm talking about is the horseshoe. Have you ever thought about putting a horseshoe on your menu?
We actually do. We have a horseshoe on the menu
really?
right now. Oh,
Where's it at? What?
It's on the menu, yeah, the horseshoe. My business partner, she's from Central Illinois. So she's like, we got to put a horseshoe dog on the menu. So next time I come in, we have a horseshoe. It's got everything on it, yeah.
I got to make it back down to that. I mean, I'll be in town. Here's time for a concert. But yeah, definitely.
I can't believe it. I wish my friend, the late great Tony Leone, was still alive, because he wrote the book on horseshoes, and it was like a traveling book. And if they make another edition, he had a co-author. I'm going to have to tell you, you got to get Steve's hot dogs in there. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we I had never heard of it until like maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And my business partner's like, in Central Illinois, it's a big thing of horseshoes. So we came up with our version of a horseshoe. It's got everything on it. It's huge, and it's like a meal for like two people. but we do have the horseshoe dog.
I would be a different shirt size if I never heard of it.
So come on in, man. Like next time you come in, look for it. The horseshoe dog is on the menu. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, that's what I mean, for sure. For sure, if I'm getting next time.
Well, Zach, anything else? Because
No, we're just, he brought so much energy last time. We're looking forward to it again. I mean, there's a huge buzz for this show. And we're actually, this week we're getting materials delivered. Tony is. We're going to be building the stage just for this. And we're actually going to be doing it in the Creamery, I think, parking lot, in the Hillsboro Creamery. So we're going to be building the stage all this weekend, this week, next weekend, to have for the following weekend. So you're going to get to see like something kind of like coming to fruition as the week goes on. I think that's going to build some buzz too. Be like, these guys out there building a stage every day? Yeah, we're going to build a big stage. So
that's sweet.
Well, Steve, man, it's sure an honor. And now I got to get back there again to get a little horseshoe magic. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Plus,
thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah, sorry to keep you on so long.
You're good.
Yeah. And
thank you, Steve. Can't wait to see you in about a week, man.
Yeah, Zach. Let's get it on. Let's go.
Oh.
That'll be good.
Yeah, it was a privilege.